It's time for a short update where I'm going to talk about Acala, RMRK, and Parallel. So let's find out what are the latest from these three projects. Acala had just announced that they've integrated, or they will be integrating aUSD in the Moonbeam ecosystem using StellaSwap. Okay, so StellaSwap is the biggest DEX on Moonbeam, at least at the moment, in terms of TVL, total value locked, and likely the amount of transactions that are happening there and all that sort of stuff, and of course the functionalities that they've got available. And so yeah, 12 hours ago Acala just announced that. And if we look at this article by Dan Reeser, he's talking a little bit about the Nomad bridge as well. So let's have a look at that, because that's quite interesting. So he's saying here that the recent exploit on Nomad has strongly molded StellaSwap's approach towards a core focus on substrate native assets like aUSD that can be trustlessly bridged between parachains without bridges, and that's the key here. So they want to focus on substrate native assets via cross-consensus messaging, which is XCM, in order to mitigate against bridge risks as well as enriching the Polkadot ecosystem as a whole. This entails focusing on cross-parachain assets listings as well as adoption of strategic native assets like aUSD from Acala. And so there's going to be a farm launch as well. The aUSD farm launch on Moonbeam satisfies the user demand for a robust stablecoin in StellaSwap. Here are the details for the upcoming aUSD Glimmer farm launch. So it's going to be the aUSD Glimmer pair. There's going to be multi-rewards if you do farm, and it's going to launch on the 10th of August, which is today at 2 o'clock UTC Universal Time. You can start bridging your aUSD via XCM through Moonbeam's application in preparation for the farm launch. So it is very easy. I mean, I've done tutorials in the past. On the Moonriver one is the same on Moonbeam. You just go to the website by clicking on this article here. I'm going to post a link to this article in the description just in case you want to follow it. And then just simply hit deposit on aUSD and sign the transaction, of course. And that's it. I mean, it's really straightforward to bridge from Acala over to Moonbeam, and it's basically going to be on your MetaMask wallet. That's where you're going to be what you're going to be interacting with when once you bridge it and when you go to StellaSwap. So I've done a tutorial on StellaSwap as well, by the way, so check that out. It should pop up on the top right hand corner of the screen if you are interested. Also, what's next? So a core pool of liquidity in a stable AMM defines a base pool. The base pool serves as the foundation of the stable AMM, as all other pools known as meta pools within the stable AMM. They'll be tethered to the base pool's core liquidity. The StellaSwap base pool allows users to trade stable coins at ultra low fees while earning from providing liquidity to the pool. StellaSwap base pool is the foundation for StellaSwap stable AMM. So we'll have to see how it's going to be, but also aUSD is going to serve the primary currency during the Ethos IDO. So there's going to be an IDO on their platform. I believe I've mentioned this when I had a look at StellaSwap, that was the only IDO, initial decentralized offering. That's the only one that's on StellaSwap at the moment. I do expect more to be launched during the next bull run, but who knows when that'll come, right? So yeah, it's I just don't really see, like right now I just don't really see IDOs really performing, because people just want to save, right? They want to be careful with their crypto. A lot of people are in stable coins as well. Then there's also a lot of people that are stuck where the price has gone down 90%, 80%, and they just obviously don't want to sell at a loss. They're hodling strong and they're waiting. Some people have already panic sold and likely left crypto, and so that's why we're seeing a huge drop in terms of users, in terms of views on my channel at least, and so on, right? So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about this this bear market, but who knows how much longer it's going to last, if it's going to end. Some people are speculating that it might end and that we're beginning to get into the next phase of the bull market, and if that is the case, that's going to be awesome, of course, for everyone, but we'll have to see. Next, let's talk about RMRK a bit. I haven't covered RMRK in quite a few days, unfortunately, and so one of the most important updates, I think this was from the 2nd of August, is in relation to the mana token. So what RMRK are going to do is they're going to have the mana token, which is only going to be used within Skybreach, and then in order to generate this mana token, you need to stake your RMRK tokens and also a bird. Now they don't specify which type of bird, so I'm assuming any type of bird, and likely the bigger the rarity, the better it is in terms of mana that you generate. So obviously, if you have a founder bird, which is super expensive at the moment, you're going to generate a whole ton of mana. But I guess it also depends on the RMRK tokens you have. So I don't know if they're going to balance this out with like remark whales and that don't have very expensive birds, like for example the founder bird. I mean, could they be generating as much mana as someone that doesn't have that much remark but has a founder bird? So that I don't know, right? I'm assuming they're going to balance it out based on which one you hold. They're likely going to have mana generating powers based on the amount you actually hold and the type of bird that you have. So that's my thought on this, but we'll have to see. Other stuff. What do we have here? Invarge Network is also discussing with Remark about the NFT technologies, so that's great because it just shows you like during the bear markets, that's what's happening. You're seeing partnerships with these parachains and with anything in the .sama ecosystem. As you can see, Bruno also spread some alpha in Telegram group saying that right now they're working on the EVM palette for Singular, and also Landmap will have a custom image upload this week, and he's going to start working on the chunky quests as well. Remember, for the chunky quests, in the most optimistic scenario, we can expect them to launch in September. In the most pessimistic scenario, December, right? So anytime between September and December, we're going to see the chunky quests go live. So that's going to be bullish for Remark as a whole, because it has been pretty quiet on the Remark front in terms of marketing, right? Sure, we've been getting these videos saying what's coming up, but we haven't seen any real use case right now. And so I think when these chunky quests launch, that's when you're going to see awesomeness come to fruition in terms of Remark, in terms of the community. Everyone's going to be hyped, and so I'm excited for that myself as well. But we'll have to see how things progress, of course. It is dependent on this market as well, but at the end of the day, if you have a product, if you have something to do, if you have utility, I think people are going to be hyped regardless. Those that are in it for the tech are going to stay for the tech, right? And if the gains come, sure, they're going to be happy. They'll see that as a bonus, but it's not a must, right? It's more about the tech. But of course, you should also be rewarded for your investment, for your time. I don't think it's the case here that we're not gonna be rewarded, right? I do think we are. We just need to wait. So that's been it about Remark. We don't have anything else so far. We have to see when these updates come, and of course, we're all excited for the upcoming chunky quests to see how that's gonna do. And regarding the KSM unlock, it was a surprise for many of us. We did expect quite a bit of a dip, and it didn't come, surprisingly, right? Now the market has pulled back a bit, so there has been a bit of a dip across the board, not only Kusama, but in terms of people actually selling their 1.2 million or out of the 1.2 million KSM, the percentage was super small, that it wasn't even noticeable, right, in terms of the market. So now all these different parachains have come up with strategies for people to stake their KSM and earn rewards. For example, Parallel Finance has just announced the KSM unlock and stake summer. 3.75 million HKO tokens are up for grabs. I should say coins because they're not even tokens. This is like a coin on the Parallel Heiko blockchain, parachain I should say, on Kusama. There are going to be 3 snapshots for September, October, November. The more total stake, the more HKO reward per KSM staked. However, I'm not really convinced with this, right? I had a look at it, and I have to say, like, from an unbiased perspective, because you know you always get unbiased views from my channel, I have to say that the rewards are not too great, right? I mean, look at this. There are 3 different snapshots, September, October, November, and if 250,000 KSM were to be locked for this promotion, you would be getting 6 HKO for each KSM you lock, 5 in October and 4 in November. So, I mean, it's peanuts if you think about it, because each HKO is worth 12 cents at the moment. Sure, I get that these are like extra rewards, but it's just not enough motivator for a guy like me to simply stake, right? I mean, yeah, sure, I'm staking, but why shouldn't I stake on a validator? Because if I stake on a validator right now, I'm actually earning 20% APY. And there are other methods to stake as well on other platforms. And so what's the point for me to lock my KSM on Parallel Heiko for 3 months for peanuts, right? I just don't see the benefit here. And so I think that if they would have pushed this reward higher, I think this would have been better. It's just, to me, it just doesn't seem like a very good reward right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you happy with this HKO reward, right? Are you convinced? Are you going to actually be staking it? I mean, looking at this here, it says that they're giving you different examples, right? And they're saying that if Alice has accumulated 300 HKO in September, 500 in October, and 400 in November, for a total of 1200. I mean, 1200 is really not that much, right? And yeah, it depends on the amount of KSM that Alice has staked, and in this case 100 KSM for peanuts. I'm sorry to tell you, for peanuts, right? I mean, staking for 3 months for this reward is just super low. There are other ways to earn bigger rewards in crypto and in .sama in general than with this method. And so I think that, okay, it's a good marketing strategy to attract people, but I mean, when you do the maths, when you do the numbers, you realize it's really not that great, unfortunately, right? It's really not that great. But there is a catch here. So what is the catch? Well, if you stake on the validator, you get 20% APY in KSM only. However, if you stake here, you don't only get the HKO rewards. This is an added bonus. You actually get the liquid staking reward from Parallel Hyco, which is 24.5% APY by lending your SKSM. Okay, so if you do liquid staking and you lend it, you get extra rewards. So 24.5% APY, and then they're saying an extra 3.4% APY in HKO. So although the rewards are super low in HKO, you are still getting 24.5% here. So now the question comes, what's the point for me to do the APY for, like, to stake on HKO if I'm going to get the liquid staking anyway? Well, because you're going to get 24.5% regardless if you're currently staking, plus you're going to get 3.4%, okay, on top of that. So to me, yeah, sure, that is good. That is awesome in this case. But just from the point of view of the HKO reward, I just think that's super low. So I just don't see people actually being motivated to do anything different than they would have already done for the 3.4%. So that's my point, okay? Sure, 24.5% is good. It's better than the validator staking. Then it does come with a risk, of course, because you are now liquid staking it, so you have to change it for SKSM. Remember, you're no longer holding KSM, now you're holding SKSM, which is the staking version of Kusama on Parallel. But the issue with that token is that it could change in price, it could fluctuate in price, and so it's not as stable as staking on the validator for 20%, which is actually stable because you are getting the real KSM from the relay chain. Here you're getting SKSM rewards, which are, you know, it's a hit and miss. It could be good, it could be bad. Right now it's worth more than KSM, but who knows what could really happen, right? It depends, because it's a type of token that could change in price anytime, and so there is a risk there. And so for me personally, like, I don't personally do any liquid staking, but if you do liquid staking and you're already earning 24.5%, of course, this is an added bonus. It's not a lot, but it's something in exchange for keeping that locked up there for 3 months. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I mean, are you happy with this? And if so, are you planning to stake? That's been it from today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.